This telecast is copyrighted by Hometown 24 for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or retransmission of this game without the express written consent of Hometown 24 is prohibited.
Welcome to the Bank of Hindman first boys volleyball game in the historical history of the 40 years of Hometown 24. We're bringing you boys volleyball, and I'm Manus Blair, and I'm joined by Jim McCauley and Jim.
Hey, I'm pretty fired up about this.
Well, you know, I give a little detailed history about Letcher Central. When we did the surveys, and I think I might have mentioned this to you before, but as an athletic director, when you gave the surveys, you would pick some of the sports you were interested in. Mm-hmm. And, of course, boys volleyball would always be that one at the top. And I'm just tickled to see Buckhorn and Letcher Central and the other teams that we'll mention throughout the telecast are playing boys volleyball. I just think it just gives another opportunity for young men to play a game that they have always played in PE class. But now, you know, it becomes a serious thing.
Yeah, you know, I don't know a lot of the kids from Buckhorn, but these kids at Letcher, I know most all these kids, and the majority of them, this is probably the only sport that they play. So I think anytime you can introduce someone to a sport that they haven't had a chance to experience on an organized level and gives them something to do when, you know, in the evenings, and this to me is an awesome thing. Coach Sheeler has did a great job, takes it very serious, got some great assistants. And, you know, Letcher volleyball, even though they've not had organized men's volleyball, kind of on your end of the county, Manus, volleyball, we know the girls have been successful, but I remember many times going by behind breedings and seeing this guy that used to have dark hair jumping up and down on the volleyball over there. So that's been something that was a lot more on your end of the county than my end of the county. Yeah,
and, you know, that's a thing on the western end of the county. We always love volleyball, and you know that was brought forth by Betty Von Caudle, and of course we will be seeing Betty Von once again as a coach of the Jenkins Cavaliers, and really look forward to that. But it's a good opportunity for these young men to play a sport that they really like to play, and like you said, gives them an opportunity to play, get out and play an active sport. This is a lifetime sport.
Oh, yes.
You know, I quit playing it after I pulled a hamstring, and so not going to do much. But, you know, when you look at the rosters, you know, you've got Christian Fitzpatrick, who played football for Letcher Central. You got Jacob Neese for Buckhorn. That was a heck of a basketball player.
I thought I saw him over there.
Yeah.
And boy, if he plays volleyball like he does basketball, look out.
And he's a go-getter on the basketball floor. And, you know, when you just kind of look over, and the thing about it is, I hope more streamers take on showing the boys volleyball. I tried to find some footage on both of these teams today, and we're not able to do that. But, you know, when you look at the teams, Letcher Central is 3-7 on the season. They played in the Bluegrass Sports games. Buckhorn did as well. They're 1-7. So they've went out, and, you know, when you start looking at the region, this is Region 8. And when you look at it, you've got Bath County, Fleming County, you've got Buckhorn, Jenkins, Knott County Central, Letcher Central, Purry Central, Pikeville, and Powell County in Region 8. And the big thing about Region 8 this year is whoever wins the region will also host the first round of the state tournament. So of those teams, that makes a major difference. So they have to play each other twice, and the team with the leading seed will be by winning percentage.
Okay.
So just a little tidbit of information there. And
always know that you're going to know all the details, Mr. Blair.
And, of course, Pikeville won Region 8 last year, and so the first two rounds will be hosted at the site for the region will be the two highest ones, and then after that, they'll move on to that. And we're going to have the national anthem. We'll take a break, and when we'll come back, we'll have live action here at Letcher County Central.
This is News 12.
Since 1985, Hometown 24 has been serving this community with local programming produced by local people.
Hornets want to air it out. He's got a man out here. Linden caught at the 45.
Using the latest video technology to bring you the news, sports, and local events that matter to you.
First on your hometown news tonight.
I'm Harold Mullins, and thanks for joining us.
40 years is a long time in Eastern Kentucky. Here's to 40 more.
For over a century, Bank of Hindman has proudly served Knott County and the surrounding communities. They're your hometown bank, built on trust, service, and a commitment to their neighbors. With online banking, bill pay, and mobile deposit, they blend today's convenience with the personal service you've always known. Visit them on the Hindman Bypass or at the Holly Hills Shopping Center. Bank of Hindman, where tradition and trust still matter.
When financial challenges threaten your future, you need clear guidance and proven solutions. Call Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express. Trusted legal experience to help you take control. From stopping creditor actions to protecting your assets, Keisha and her staff deliver efficient, reliable representation focused on results. With flexible payment options, getting the help you need is more accessible than ever. Keisha Caldwell Feltner, Bankruptcy Express. Professional service, practical solutions. The fresh start you deserve.
Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard is here to meet all your prescription and healthcare needs. Pharmacist Darren Smith and the experienced staff provide fast, reliable service with the professionalism you expect. With friendly service and a commitment to quality care, Hometown Pharmacy is proud to serve the Hazard community every day. Ask about their new app. Hometown Pharmacy of Hazard, quality care, professional service right here in your community.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central, the Bank of Hyman first boys volleyball game in the Region 8. I'm Manus Blair, joined by Jim McCauley, and we're about ready for action. Right now on TV, we're not going. We're up on YouTube and Facebook, so trying to get that ironed out here. And as we get the lineups for volleyball and everything, and thank you for joining us. If you are watching, let everyone know that we've got boys or men's. How should we approach that? Boys or men's? I've been saying men.
I think men's will be more appropriate.
I say men's.
Make them feel good about themselves.
Men's volleyball.
One thing I noticed on the officials tonight, I see a very familiar face that a lot of the Knott County Central Lady Patriot volleyball team might recognize. Looks like Miss Taylor Baker is going to be one of our officials tonight. And what a wonderful thing for these high school students to start participating in officiating.
And, you know, Christy Combs numerous times have come on Hometown 24 trying to recruit volleyball people to do it. And if you're a high school or a college volleyball player, you need to get out there and do it.
Yeah, I know she does. Calissa Lowe's calling middle school.
She's calling middle school, and that's, of course, that's what Taylor has done as well. And that's where you get your start, is calling as much as you can, and the only way you can do it is by practicing.
Yeah.
And, you know, learning from people like Georgie Kinser, who is our up referee tonight, and we're going over the lineups on the scorecards to make sure everybody knows the rotation. You've got number 23, and that's Brennan Barker. On the front line, along with number 3, Mark Fugit, and we're ready for action, and that's going to be Buckhorn to serve first, and that will be point Letcher Central, and for some reason, I do have.
Yeah, Braden
Everidge was the server.
And Ashton Lawson, I've watched him in PE for the last 3 or 4 years. Great little volleyball player.
Loves playing. I've watched him. I come out here and watch him occasionally. With a back set, and goes and it hits into the net, and that will be an error. Point Buckhorn, 1-1. And thank you once again for joining us. And hit that like and share button, and let everyone know that we're broadcasting the game. And as we mentioned here, Will Noble will go back to serve for the Wildcats. Chris Williams, coach, of course, of Buckhorn, being helped by Miss Walker, who was the girls' coach over.
That's a nice play by Jordan Potter right there to save it.
Off top of the double block, back set goes through into the libero. And, of course, if you don't know much about volleyball, that's going to be a point that time for Nice. The off-color uniform is for the libero, and they're primarily defense. Number 24 will serve once again, and that will be Will Noble. Will is a sophomore for Coach Williams. Going across, and that's to Blair down, and that's going to be a kill number 1 on the night.
Yeah, and I watched him in warm-ups. Drew Blair and Jackson Chris both could really smack that ball. Long, lean competitors to get up quick.
Yeah, and we talk a lot. Me and Betty Vaughn always talks about the length and athleticism of the girls, but you'll see that as well with the guys. And when you've got length incorporated already and you've got athleticism to go along with it, takes you a long way. Serve comes back, and it's going to be lift's going to be a call.
Yeah,
that'll be
Kendrick.
A point Letcher Central.
Dylan Kendrick, also I think he's a soccer player as well. I know Dylan and Drew both played soccer.
Yeah, and I'm trying to – their numbers, I know the faces, but I cannot see the numbers that well until that sunlight goes down. That's service error, and that will be a point for Buckhorn. 3-3 in set number 1. Going back to serve will be Jacob Neese, and Jacob leads the Buckhorn Wildcats. TV's on, guys, so if you can go back to your TV now if you can. And Jacob with a jump serve leads the team in aces. Blair over the top with a roll. Bump set goes all the way across. And one thing about building a team is communication, and that's going to be a nice block by Fitzpatrick. Gets it back across. Blair over the top, blocked that time.
Yeah, it's the first good volley we've seen so far. It's very entertaining.
And it's a roll shot for Fitzpatrick, and that's going to be point, Letcher Central. And I believe we're going to have a timeout, and we'll take a timeout too on Hometown 24. We'll be right back.
Introducing Multiview from TVS. The same video service you already know and trust. Now watch up to 4 programs at the same time, including college sports.
Oh, he jackhammered it in on the fly.
With an easy-to-understand menu, Multiview is just a click away. Don't miss a second of the action, no matter when it's happening. Video when you want it, how you want it, from TVS.
Welcome back after the timeout. It's 4-3 Letcher Central, and thank you for tuning in. And as Jim says, the excitement comes as the teams kind of get a little bit of rhythm. And, I was given the analogy that if you started taking calculus as a freshman, it takes a while to get those fundamentals and those concepts going here, and just takes a while. I forgot to mention that Frazier came in for the libero over the top, and it's going to be hit that time by Begley, and it's going to be over point Buckhorn, and that will tie it up at 4 apiece.
We watch in the girls' volleyball, the rotation after the hit is so important.
Movement.
And right now, still both teams trying to figure out whose ball it is.
And, I talked to head, and that's going to be a service error point. Letcher Central talked to Miss Kinser, and she said, you kind of allow a little bit of things to occur that you may not in high school girls because it's still a learning situation. Yeah. We've got some new teams in Region 8, and then, of course, Letcher Central, of course, and Buckhorn played last year.
Yeah, and that's a good serve from Kobe Amberg. And Kobe's my man now. Really a talented individual who I think is going to be going to school at Asbury. And just a well-rounded, incredible young man.
And that's his 23rd service ace on the season. And he is a setter as well and that's going to go – it's going to be out, and that will be point for Buckhorn. Going back to serve will be Turner, and that will be Landon Turner, a sophomore. Into the game will be number 23, again, freshman Brendan Barker. Nice bump up. Colby with a back set. And it goes to Fitzpatrick. Nice up. And that's going to be a double hit, and that'll be a point for Letcher Central. 7-5. We're in set number 1. Best 3 out of 5 tonight. Fitzpatrick will go back to serve. 12 aces on the season. He's going to have a jump set. Kind of threw me off. I thought he was going to hit it hard, and he hits the boomer. Ambergy across, and nice hit. Didn't go over top of it.
Got lost in a little long right there.
Yeah, you got to get across, and you will see occasionally, and I can't do it I might jump in front of the camera, but you got to bring that hand over the top of the ball and come over top. Jump serve for Alex Begley, and it's Colby. He's going to hit it across. Ambergy. As the old saying, a free ball going on, and that's going to be 4 hits, and that'll be a point for Buckhorn, and that will tie it up at 7 apiece. Begley will continue to serve. Begley with 7 service aces on the season. Going to try the old jump serve, gets over the top with it, and that's like a change-up in baseball.
It is. It looks like
off.
It's going to come really hard and just kind of floats across the net.
And, of course, Kendrick kind of threw him off a little bit, so that's an ace for him. And it's going to go right back to him. He was ready for it that time. It's going to be over the top, and there's that athleticism we were talking about with Neese.
Yeah, Neese, one of the better players in the district over there in the 54th district.
Oh, yeah.
And, just a real score. And I love seeing this transition into another sport.
Yeah, and of course we've talked numerous times about how that helps you in other sports when you play. Uses different muscles. Back set for Lawson. Nice back set, and that will be a kill for Letcher Central. Point Letcher Central. Going back to serve will be, that is going to be Aiden Lawson. And, of course, he's got 26 service aces on the season. Anytime you can average 1 service ace per match, you did pretty good. Going to be the cross. Nice play. Ambergy goes back all the way across to Kendrick off the block of Neese, and that's a point for Letcher Central.
Yeah, that time they managed to get a good set, and Kendrick came through with a nice spike right there.
And you're trying to get
a kill.
one.
I guess a kill.
A kill,
sorry.
Yes. And that one's going to go off. Nice hustle, and they'll get it across on. It'll be a free ball, but it's going to go wide. Nice job by Barker, but it went astray. Point Letcher Central. You're trying to get 1, 2, 3. You're trying to get 3 good hits, and you're trying to get it to the setter.
Well, that's a really good serve right there, skimming the net.
Nice setup. Oh, and Ambergy put it just a little bit short. Blair said, put it up a little bit higher. So that's a point for Buckhorn. Ties it up at 10 apiece. We've went through 1 rotation now. Nice call. Bump serve across. A bump set.
Good communication by Buckhorn right there.
Ambergy goes with a back set. That time he gets it up, and he's allowed to do that.
So how important, Manus, this is my first really, broadcast. I've watched a lot of the women's volleyball, but communication out there, how important is it?
It's just as important as any other sport, when and it's communicating. The setter's got to be that person, and you've heard us say many a time, me and Betty Vaughn, that setter has to be that person that doesn't hit the first ball, that hits the second ball, and gets everything in rhythm, in what we call in system.
Mm-hmm.
You might hear that word all the time, and that's one of the things that these guys will learn. Nice serve that time, and that's going to be an ace for Ashton Lawson. And, of course, Ashton is a senior for Coach Sheeler. So that's a point, 13-10. Another good serve. Bump, it's going to be at the net. And they're thinking about doing that 1, 2, 3 right there, and got to move, and that's going to be a joust, but able to get his hand was Neese. Neese way up there.
Yeah, that's 2 big-time leapers with Blair and Neese up there in the middle of the front.
And that's going to go wide, and that will be point Letcher Central. And you saw Landon Turner, the sophomore, trying to bump it up to their setter. And, of course, Jacob Neese, and that's going to go wide. Another good serve, and that's going to be point for Letcher Central. And, it just takes a while to even just go in and get in the middle and say, good job, and everybody coming to the center. And so it just takes a long time to get it. And I don't like to use the PE reference, but that's a lot of times that's all they've done so far. And, you don't have AAU and boys volleyball. Point Buckhorn, and then make it 15-11.
Well, I've really already just early on in this game watching Neese for Buckhorn. Obviously, he's one of the better athletes, and out here you see but every single time he's encouraging his teammates, and to me that shows so much about him, his character, and as a person. We didn't get to see that as much because basketball it's a little different than this.
And it's the from basketball to this sport is so much different. You must rely on, and that's going to hit long by Blair, point by Buckhorn. And once again, Noble will continue to serve. And, you see the length of Begley there, the senior. He's got nice length, too, for Buckhorn. That's going to be another good serve, Buckhorn, with a point. Makes it 15-13 Letcher Central, and Noble to continue to serve. Nice up. On the back set goes Kendrick. Nice play that time by Noble. Lawson catches them off, and that's an excellent, smart play, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central.
He found the hole in the defense right there and placed the ball right there.
And, a lot of times you don't necessarily want to do that on the first or second hit every time. But in that situation, he saw the defense had drawn up toward the 3-meter line, and he hit it over top. Kendrick to serve. Hits it short. Nice play by Beckley to get it up and off, and that's going to be a point by Fitzpatrick as Barker unable to get to it. Might have been going wide.
But once again, you've not played enough. It's hard to know where those lines are, and your first instinct is to try to get to it, as you would in PE again.
Right. Kendrick to serve once again. It's going to be a service error, point Buckhorn. Thank you once again for joining us. 17-14 Letcher Central. And Neese will serve, like I said. He is the leading service aide. He jumps over the net. Oh, nice up. That Fitzpatrick left hand is something else. Off the double block, you're allowed to do that.
But I really liked how Fitzpatrick hustled back to his position.
And somebody was in the net. And it looks like it was.
Yeah.
And, they had a triple block on Neese. All three of the frontline people were trying to block him. Neese to serve. Kendrick all the way across. Someone's got a call, and Lawson goes and gets it. Neese back
Good
to him.
set.
Over the top, but there is Kendrick. Lawson over the top once again. There's Neese right in the middle.
Yeah, you'll see Chris, number 22. I watched him. I think that's who that is.
Yes, it is.
Very athletic.
Good hustle by Buckhorn. Point will go to Letcher Central. Then when you're looking at, Aiden Lawson is the libero once again. He can go out at choice. Blair with a nice serve right at Neese over the top.
And that would have been out right there.
Fitzpatrick tried to get it over the top. Nice across. Keeping the ball a little bit alive, Jim, a little bit more now.
You can tell when the sweat starts going there. Nice volley right here.
And see, there's a usage of that 3 times, and that's a good bump set by Fitzpatrick.
And Chris went across to the other side that time and called a hoe in the defense of Buckhorn.
And, when you're looking down the stats and, Blair has 117 kills on the season. So, when they get an opportunity, they're trying to go to him. He'll go back and set it now or serve. and a little miscommunication. And you saw right there, Jim, that Barker said, "My bad." He looked over at Everidge and said, "My bad, I should have took it." But in the old days, if you're both of you right-handed and the ball comes here, you go ahead and take it.
Yeah.
The old scheme of things, and you let it go. Of course, y'all couldn't see what I was doing just now. 20-15, Letcher Central. Blair will continue short. Nice up by Neese. Coming across, step up by Lawson. Across, behind the 3-meter line, and he hits it in the net. That's our first opportunity to hit it behind. And, when you're in the back, you're only allowed to hit it or attack behind that 3-meter line. It's on the basketball court. A lot of people say, what is that 3-meter line, Manus? When you're talking, but that is for volleyball purpose.
So when you look at the various sets here, man, can you explain to me what the difference, Letcher Central, Buckhorn, like the sets they run?
Well,
formations.
And I think in more cases you'll hear Betty Vaughn and I talk about 6-1 and 5-2, but most of they're running a 5-2. Letcher Central's running a 5-2, and when Colby comes in, he becomes the setter when he comes in. I think in more cases than not, Jacob Neese actually leads the team over here in sets, so they run like a 6-1. And he never rotates out, of course. You wouldn't want Jacob Neese to ever.
No.
So point Buckhorn 20-18, and once again, Fugit will continue to serve. Hits that with a little backspin on it, makes it a little bit tougher. Fitzpatrick over the top, nice up. Over on 2, Kendrick over to Lawson. He takes it back over top. Nice kill.
Yeah, very much.
Point Letcher Central. And until that sun goes down, Jim, I cannot tell the numbers.
Yeah, it is difficult.
Letcher Central's numbers is about like the football team in some cases.
Yeah, it's hard to get that dark blue and black.
And Kobe Ambergy will come in. Nice job that time by Jackson Crisp, the freshman on the front line. Nice knuckle serve, nice up. There's the 3 going on the top. Begley comes back. Lawson into the net. I don't know if anyone touched it. Nope, they did not touch it, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn. I'm almost getting my rhythm in volleyball.
I could tell. I was very impressed with. Lawson missed the kill, but really nice vertical jump on.
And it's really tough as a right-hander on that side to get over top of it. You have to turn, and it's really tough. Nice use of the fist to get it across, and that's going to score a point for Letcher Central. 22-19, Letcher Central, and Fitzpatrick will go back to serve. And, a lot of things have become a little bit more lenient on that first. Me and Betty Vaughn had talked about it in boys volleyball. If you hit it and then it hits you again, it's not a double hit. You just play it on. Fitzpatrick, 23-19, hitting it short, I think, by design. Nice over, but they're going to call a carry.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I'm not the volleyball aficionado, but it looked like a carry there.
And we've always talked about behind the ear. If you hit it on the second or third hit, a lot of times they'll call that. Nice hit. Fitzpatrick, and they're not able to get to it, and that's going to be 4, and that's going to be a point. And that was, of course, set point. I failed to mention set point number 1, and into the game will be Jordan Potter. Failed to mention his name when he was in there earlier.
Yeah, Jordan, a very good young man. Always see him helping out at the high school.
Ambergy back to
nice
Lawson,
shot.
and that is going to be out. And that will be a point for Buckhorn.
Yeah, I thought that one.
Hitting it in the right area.
Yeah.
The coffin corner between the sideline and the inline. May have hit it just a little bit hard.
Yeah. And like I said, the guys that do these line judges are volunteers.
Always, yes.
And, Lordy, that's a tough situation to be in.
Ambergy all the way across the Lawson, and then that's going to be out. Asking for a touch, and there must not been one, so still a set point for Letcher Central, set point number 4 coming up. 24-22. Continue to serve, jump serve, and hits it back with that back flip, and that makes it a little bit tougher. Nice hit, and it's going to go off of Buckhorn. And set one will go to Letcher Central, 25-22. And when we'll come back, we'll have set number 2. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
Spring has sprung in the mountains, and that means it's the perfect time to upgrade your device and your savings with Appalachian Wireless. Right now, you can get the new iPhone 17e, the iPhone 17, or the Samsung A17 on us when you choose a qualifying plan, or take advantage of up to $800 in device savings on select devices. And here's the best part for our new customers. Port your numbers to Appalachian Wireless and get up to 6 months of free service. So don't wait. Spring into savings today, or visit us online at AppalachianWireless.com, because we are your neighbors and this is your network. We are Appalachian Wireless.
Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Incorporated, Little Flower Clinic, Quantum Healthcare, and East Kentucky Chiropractic, offering medical, dental, pediatrics, chiropractic, behavioral health, women's health, rheumatology, mat program, x-ray, and transportation. Little Flower Clinic Rheumatology, Dr. Travis Sizemore and Brianna Cornitz, treating autoimmune disorders such as lupus and rheumatoid arthritis, and more. 487-9505. Kentucky Mountain Health Alliance Incorporated, your medical home in the mountains.
Welcome back to Letcher County Central. As we've mentioned already, it's a historical thing on Hometown 24. Thank you to the Bank of Hyman, who always sponsors sports here for Hometown 24. Letcher Central takes the first set 25-22. And, once again, these two teams have faced twice in history, and Letcher Central has won both of those. Buckhorn will play their next game at Pikeville on the 10th, and Letcher Central will be going to Powell County tomorrow night. So you got to understand, if you know the region layout, you have to play each team home and away in order to qualify for that 1 or 2 spot. And you really want to do that so that you can host a game in the region area. And
looking down the roster, that's for Letcher Central. Some kids that haven't been in the game so far that I'm familiar with. Tony Lewis from over at Arley Boggs. Saw him out there warming up. The Strand brothers, Brody and Blythe, also from over at Arley Boggs. So it's really cool to see a lot of these kids.
And I saw Robert Johnson over there too, and very, I hate to say anything academically about some, but I have a lot of good feedback about all these kids from Letcher Central. And so,
kudos to Coach Sheeler. He, when I was AD, come to him, got to start this. He was so excited about it. I was a little hesitant to begin with, just because we've already got so many sports, but I didn't realize that it would appeal to a lot of the kids that were not playing other sports. And to me, that's a win, and Coach Sheeler was right about that.
And you fill in those gaps. And speaking about filling in gaps, you have Tom Watco and Jan Caudle, who helps Coach Sheeler. And like I mentioned earlier, Miss Brittany Walker, the girls' coach, and did not get an opportunity to do Buckhorn's Lady Cats, and we'll try to get her definitely on the schedule next year. So here we go with set number 2. Nice serve by Lawson. He goes in. It's a little joust, and it's hard to joust with Nice up there.
Oh, what a play by Lawson.
He gets it across, and he reaches across. Nope. Must not have touched it.
No, I don't think he did.
And that's what the official said. Did not touch it, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn. But like you said, Lawson with effort there.
Yeah, he covered the ground right there.
Average with a nice serve, nice up, and you can see the 2 in Nice with it across. Lawson short set, nice job.
Yeah, that's a really cool matchup right there between
the 2 middle blockers go in there.
Yeah, and they're both very athletic, quick hands and quick leapers, and that's a really nice matchup. So check it in for Letcher Central. You've got number 6, Jesse Bright's coming in.
And that's the first time he's been in. Yep.
And looks like Potter's coming out, Jordan. So Kendrick back to serve.
Trying to check their alignments out each time, Jim, just to see if they're changing anything up. Serve is going to be a service error. Out for Buckhorn will be Barker, and in to serve will be Noble. And I'm just getting accustomed, guys and gals. I'm trying to get accustomed to all the names for both teams.
Noble did a great job serving first time through.
He did. Once again, gets it across down the middle. Back set goes to Blair. He sits down, but it goes wide.
Misses it, yeah.
And, as you learn that kind of skill is you do get low and you torque it. But he was not able to hit that one in. That's going to be a point for Buckhorn. Buckhorn up in set number 2, 3-1. Noble hits it short. Blair goes across.
Yeah,
Bryant hit it across. Barker, nice job getting it to the front. And they're going to call a lift on him, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn, 4-1. And you see a lot of times, you see the things just like in basketball. You see the makings, and I can hear some of them talking about those things and allowing the setter not to hit the first ball. And you see that a lot of times. But I think you see a combination of different guys setting the ball for both teams. And that's going to be in the net, service error. And that's going to be a point for Buckhorn, 5-2. Needs to serve. And he'll hit it in the net. And that's service error. And, Kobe Ambergy will come in. Chris going out. And, things that we talk about in girls volleyball, the same as in boys volleyball or men's volleyball. If in doubt, serve it down the middle. In.
You got to keep the ball in play.
If you want to score, and of course I go back to the rally scoring, and nice serve by Ambergy, not able to hit it was Barker.
Yeah, the non-rally scoring.
Yeah, and that could take a long time back in the day, and I'm tickled for rally scoring. It just makes it so fast-paced, as we've talked several times. Barker over the top, and he's going to score the point for Buckhorn. That'll make it 6-4, I believe. Maybe somebody over there is real quick with. Oh, it is 6-4. Oh, and there's where the communication has to be.
Yeah.
Ambergy is the setter. You got to let it go. So you see Coach Sheeler stand up and mention that to Frazier. So you got to let him get to it.
Good save.
Goes all the way across, and that's the 0-1-2. Nice job.
Yeah, that was a heck of a save right there.
And keeps the ball in play. There's the 3 hits you're talking about, and it's a little bit behind as Turner was trying to get the ball to Begley, but he hit it behind him. And, the old saying is you got to get that volleyball up above the net unless it's that short thing, and then it's got to be a foot to a foot and a half away from the net.
Yes.
And you got to but he's got to step back and go into that ball. And, when you look at Begley, he's long and lean like Nice. Mm-hmm. And there you see the difference right there.
Yeah,
but it was a nice block by Frazier, and that's going to score a point for Letcher Central, 7-6 Buckhorn. Fitzpatrick to serve. We're in set number 2. First set went to Letcher Central. Lawson, the captain, coming over and talking to the official. Nice job by Ambergy getting it across.
Oh.
But you see the Nice came up behind when Begley went up and did not hit it.
Yeah, I was like, you got it.
It's kind of like playing a zone defense when everybody's got to be moving. If one person's growing roots, there's going to be trouble.
Oh, yeah.
So when you see it, the thing that they've got to understand is they've got to have complete movement. When that ball's hit this time, and that's going to be by Turner, everybody's got to be moving, and that's going to be an up. It goes, that was the right play, I believe. Oh, might have got away with one there.
Yeah, it could have been a carry.
But that's okay. Oh, nice set. And somebody was in the net, and that was Frazier on Begley. Begley had the kill anyway, I believe. So that's going to put Buckhorn out to a 9-6, but we're going to have a timeout. And we'll take a timeout, too, on Hometown 24, so stay with us.
Living
Welcome back. Timeout by Coach Williams at Buckhorn. 9-6 Buckhorn in the second set. And, you know, I started looking down and seeing how many players played last year for each one of these teams and played a major. It's kind of like in any other sport.
Yeah, returning.
And Buckhorn had 5 returners, so that makes it a little bit better. And, of course, Coach Williams coached them last year. And then when you look at Letcher Central, you had 3. So you got to build that program. And, you know, the next step is middle school volleyball. You got to have middle school volleyball if you really want to be competitive. Because if you go look at the teams that played in the state last year, they're on another level right now.
Yeah.
And it just takes time to build that. Nice set by Ambergy. Kendrick with a backside, and it's going to be a joust. Somebody was in the net. Nope. No net call. It might have been both in the net. Nice call by Neese. Gets it across on 2. Hamburgie up. Lawson to Kendrick. And it's going to be off of Begley, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central.
Yeah, Letcher Central that time executed very well. You know, get those 3 hits in a set. And got the, I guess, was that a kill there?
That, well, it went off of, that went off of Begley. But, whoa. Oh, we've got a, I'm not sure what we got. Oh, I think we had everybody was making sure that we were in rotation. Nice serve, Blair, back to Lawson over the top, and it's not going to clear. Average was trying to catch him off while he's up in the air, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, and it'll be 9-8 as Frazier will go out. And I think they were kind of a little bit Lawson came in. I think he was trying to come in the time before.
Yeah, Lawson does a great job serving.
It's got that knuckleball spin, no spin on it whatsoever. Kendrick, and that's one of those tough ones. He's got to turn his body and get it in there. Hits it in the net. Point Buckhorn, 10-8.
That kind of stopped the little run that Letcher Central had right there. Buckhorn being kind of in control this game.
Begley to serve. Throws it up there and then hits it with backspin on it.
Yeah, that was a...
And it hits the pylon or the antenna. I call it a pylon antenna, and that'll be a point for Buckhorn. And they go out on a 11-8 lead now in set number 2. Begley to continue to serve. Kendrick, Lawson all the way over to Blair over the top of the single block, and that will be a kill.
Yeah, that was a nice set right there.
That's what I'm talking about right there. And I'm sure that's what Coach Sheeler just said. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Lawson to serve. Goes off, and that's going to be a ace for Lawson, and that's going to draw them closer within 11-10 Buckhorn. And you see encouragement. Once again, you see that from Begley to Turner. That's a really, like you said, that's a really tough serve. And once again, you got to get ready. You got to break down, just like in baseball. You got to break down and be ready. And that's 2 aces in a row, and that will tie the score up at 11 apiece. Oh, off the net.
Well, that's have to be a tough to play when it comes that fast and changes direction at the.
Oh, and that's 3 serves, and Begley looks over, and you can see that Coach Williams says, let's move back a little bit and let's readjust. And it goes into the net, and nice job by Lawson, and it's 12-12, and back to serve will be Average.
It's a good serve.
Yep. Nice hustle by Lawson, who's got a call, and it's going to be wide, and that will be a point for Buckhorn. Just got to be real cognizant of where you're at on the floor.
Yeah, Potter really hustled back to get a hold of the ball, but just couldn't get it in the right direction.
And that's going to go long, and he must have listened exactly what I'm talking about because he knew where he was at.
Yeah.
And he let it go, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central. Going back to serve will once again be Kendrick, and I don't think I told he's got 11 service aces on the season, 13-13 in set 2.
Good serve there.
And, that's where you got to start. You got to be able to serve that thing, and that's going to be a service ace, and that'll be 14-13. First lead for Letcher Central in this second set. Nice job. There's a knuckle, and the Nice goes way up over the double block. Blair goes to the 3-meter line. Lawson hits it in the net, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn. 14 all, and out will go Barker, and in to serve will be Noble, who's done a really good job. Jim's got the baseball game. 4-2 Letcher Central looks like. What inning is that?
It's the bottom of the fifth.
That's a sectional game, isn't it?
Yeah, that's 2A. The 2A.
Over at Alice Lloyd College, I believe. Nice job by Blair. Nice. He's like a pogo stick, hits it off the double block, and he will score the kill, and that's a point for Buckhorn. Eddie Von Cottle watching tonight. She's scouting these two teams. I'm sure she's probably in the gym right now making them do some kind of plyometrics or something. 15-14, Buckhorn. Nice serve once again. Nobles, as you mentioned earlier, has done a nice job, and a nice hit by Blair, but there was Everidge off the block, and Blair with the block for the point, and that will tie it up at 15 apiece.
Yeah, Blair got great height, length, good timing right there.
And like we've always said, if you want to come watch a volleyball game, it's always exciting.
Good serve.
And that knuckled right at the last minute on Everidge, and that will be an ace, and that will put Letcher Central up 16-15. Thank you, Ruth Neese, for tuning in on Hometown 24.
It's another good serve.
Everidge was able to get to it. Nice reflexes by Barker. Blair with a back set off the top of the block. Nice hit that time. And, when Chris went up, I thought he was going to hit it hard, and then he just
I think he was really wanting to be confident in getting it in the right spot because he made a great, it was a perfect wide open area.
That puts Letcher Central up 17-15.
Yeah, Chris, really nice athlete. I think he's a ninth grader.
I think he's a freshman. I'm pretty sure.
So this is definitely, I've watched him run in some track and stuff like that. Great athlete.
Once again, that's another point for Letcher Central. 18-15. Buckhorn's got to find a way of scoring some right here.
Another good serve.
Into the middle off, and then once again, there's Neese.
Neese, really fun to watch. He's just such a quick leaper.
And has such a good time playing. You can tell he's really enjoying this. Point Buckhorn draws it within 2 at 18-16.
Good serve.
Ooh, and that's going to be in, and that's going to be a point. And that will draw Buckhorn within 1, 18-17.
That was a good serve. I mean, really had good velocity on it.
Little change up. Lawson outside to Fitzpatrick. He rolls it. Average with a nice hands. Lawson to Lawson, and then, it's going to go over the top. Just really hard to draw that back, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn. And they go on a 3-0 run, make draws even at 18 apiece. Nice floater, and that's going to be long, and that's going to be a good eye by the back line and point Letcher Central. Ambergy will come in, and out will go Crisp, and Ambergy will go back to serve. And asking the captains for a captain. captains.
Now, what's that for?
I'm not really sure.
Maybe just discussing your body language with the out calls. I know there's a couple of.
It may
and
be.
just say, hey, these guys are volunteers.
But that's why you bring the captains.
Yeah.
It could be a multitude of different things you would bring them there, but it may be that. But, once again, you're in a learning situation. And now both captains will go back and tell their players, Jacob saying, okay, this is what was said, and this is what we got to do.
So 19-18 right now.
So Hamburger to serve. Goes down the line, and it's going to go a little bit wide, and that'll be a point, Buckhorn, 19 apiece. Back to serve will go Fugit. Surprised I was looking down the stats. He doesn't have as many. He hits that thing like a sidewinder. Oh, nice play with the left hand that time by Frazier. Hamburger gets it across on 2. Oof. Average had the right idea. I think he was going back for the 3-meter hit for Nice and just not able to hit it. And that's going to be point Letcher Central. Fitzpatrick serve again. I just hate to watch left-handers serve because it
was so confusing when it's like he lines up to hit it right-handed when he's on the net, and then at the last second brings his left hand through. It's like the ultimate misdirection.
Oh, left-handers in any sport, it seems like. And Betty Vaughn, I know you're left-handed. You're tuning in. You'd say something you'd nudge me about right now. Turner to serve for Buckhorn. Nice floater. That's going to float across. Begley. Lawson rolls it over the top. Backside average with the right idea, but it's going to go long.
Yeah, he had the right idea right there.
21-20 as we draw close to the end of the second set. Frazier will go out. Blair will come in. Nice hit that time. Nice with it up. Got to get it across. Free ball. Ambergy tries to get it to Blair a little bit behind him that time.
That was a very athletic play by Blair to even get the ball up.
And that's 2. He got one more. Can he get it across? And it's going to be all right. Looking for the antenna and did not get it. Buckhorn was wanting that. Over the top, smart play by Buckhorn to be right there. Back set to Kendrick off of Fugit, and that'll be a point. And might have been one of the longest points we've had so far. 22-20 for Letcher Central.
And it kind of confused me. Drew went up and decoyed that he was going to, and it went over his head. Just very interesting. Nice serve again by Lawson. It really brings it.
Yeah, Fugit unable to get to it, and that's going to be a timeout as it draws near. And we'll take a timeout, too, on Hometown 24.
For more than a century, we have stood by the people of Hazard and Eastern Kentucky. Now we begin a new chapter with a new name. People's Bank and Trust Company is now PBT Bancorp. Our look may be new, but what matters stays the same. The same local faces, the same personal service, the same commitment to your goals. PBT Bancorp is here to help you grow, plan, and build for the future. PBT Bancorp, preparing for a better tomorrow.
Welcome back. Timeout by Coach Williams, and you see them talking with the maybe a little bit of a defensive change on the serve. 23-20 Letcher Central. They won set number 1, 25-22. Hope you're enjoying boys volleyball for the first time here on Hometown 24. David Adams, I talked to him several times. He's really excited about boys volleyball being on Hometown 24, and I am too.
Well, anytime that we as a station get a chance to promote different sets of kids, I mean, that's kind of what we try to, kind of pride ourselves on. And, I know the kids at Letcher Central were really excited about us coming up today as Lawson hits another BB back there.
And that time, it went wide from Nice. And Fugit handled it better that time.
No,
it's kind of like handling a fastball or a curveball for the first time. You've got to get used to it. And this is set point for Letcher Central. Fugit with the call, comes over on 2. Ambergy with it. Lawson across to Kendrick over the top and lifted up that time by Everidge. Ambergy outside to Lawson, hits the tape. Nice job by Turner. Yeah. Potter hit it back, and Neese gets it across, trying to get it in system here, and
just
Blair went
him,
way
yeah.
up. I think he was thinking he was going across. Short set, and that is tough, and that will end set number 2.
He brought the pepper on that one, Manus Blair.
25-20, Letcher Central, and when we come back, we'll see if Buckhorn can gather up a set and set number 3. So stay with us on Hometown 24.
TVS has made a commitment to bringing you the best channel lineups and most diverse video packages available. We are proud to introduce Broadband TV, our newest and most affordable video package yet. 48 of the most watched channels we offer, some new channels only available with this package, and over 300 of the best free ad-supported channels available, all for only $29.95.
No one likes an uninvited guest, especially when that guest is a potentially dangerous pest. So call Bluegrass Pest Management and let the pros take care of your problem. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, providing much-needed jobs to local people. With 3 locations in Hazard, London, and Hindman, they treat rats, mice, roaches, bed bugs, termites, and many more. Open Monday through Friday and now servicing all of Kentucky. Say goodbye to your uninvited guests today. Call Bluegrass Pest Management.
Welcome back to the campus of Letcher County Central, the Bank of Hyman boys volleyball game of the week. I didn't really say of the week. So thank you for joining us. We're really excited. We've been talking about left-handers and different things, and I don't mean to hate on left-handers. I just think it's real cool in all sports. It just comes off their hand different. It comes out off their fingers different, and I'm probably going to have one of my grandsons is going to be left-handed. So if someone's left-handed out there and wants to teach them how to do different things, please tell them, because I don't know how. It's just a natural. I guess it's just natural is what I'm.
Well,
is that what I'm trying to say?
There's nothing sweeter than a left-handed swing at the plate.
Yeah. I used to think I was going to be like Will Clark once upon a time when I'd hit the ball. But
Will the Thrill was quite the man at the plate.
Waiting on set number 3 to start here. Letcher Central won the first set 25-22, second set 25-20. For all those people that are tuning in, we thank you for tuning in. And we're going to have a few more opportunities in baseball, softball, and boys volleyball. This is the first venture into the boys volleyball avenue, and looking forward to doing those games. And Jim's going to help me, Brian's going to help me, David's going to help me, or I might be just doing them by myself. Who knows? But exciting for the kids at Buckhorn and exciting for the kids at Letcher Central. And if you're thinking about coming out for volleyball, do it.
Well, it's always been my philosophy. If you're a student, be involved in something.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, from football, band, volleyball, whatever you decide to do, track, cross country. Pick an activity and participate.
Oh, yeah. And as we come back, they'll get the alignments once again, and looks like that Buckhorn will start off in the same. Nope. I think they have added Landon Roberts. The freshman is up front now for Buckhorn. Let's see if we've called everybody for Letcher Central.
And I do believe they're going to play a JV game following.
Oh, are they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. And I'm not sure, I haven't had an opportunity. And, of course, we'll probably try to do something with boys volleyball sometime. And, when – you got to have a JV program along with that middle school program and in the PE programs throughout all the area teams. They need to get that net up and let those kids play. If nothing else, let them play with a beach volleyball. And here we go. Set number 3 starts. Average all the way across. Nice left hand by Blair, and Mawson will get it across.
Yeah, movement seems to be a little bit more fluid for Letcher Central right now.
Kendrick off the block of Neese, and that will be a point for Letcher Central. Lawson will serve for the first time in set number 3. Seems like I misplaced our next game. We'll have to look that up. Nice play that time.
Yeah, I think this is the only one this week, isn't it?
It's only one this week. We've got a game on the 10th, and that's a softball game, I believe.
That's right.
We'll look and see who that is. I believe that is Letcher Central and Hazard, but I'll double check here in a minute. Blair all the way across to Kendrick, and it's not going to cross the net, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn. And back for the first time will be Landon Roberts, the freshman, and he's going to serve, and you can see that a lot of talking on Letcher Central, and he's going to serve it a moonshot.
Oh, you knew that was coming right there.
Oh, got to have a little communication. I believe that ball was going out, but
by 3 feet. Now that's when the other players have got to let him know where it's at, too.
The last time I saw that was in the state tournament. Abby Chandler against Russell hit a moonshot, and they didn't know what it was underhand. Another moonshot. Lawson goes all the way across. You see the double, nice block, good hands by Blair.
Wow.
But there was Neese. Blair once again gets it up in there. Got to get it across. Free ball.
Great volley.
That's going to be a point for Letcher Central.
Yeah, great volley for both teams right there. And a couple of plays. I'm telling you, the block that Neese had on Drew Blair there was very impressive because Drew, he brings the funk.
And, you know, he's had really good hands around the net to save some volleyball from hitting the floor. Kendrick to serve, serves it in the net with her, and that will be point Buckhorn. Going back to serve will be Neese. You know, I like for experimenting on where you go to serve the volleyball, and Neese goes right down the middle, and that's going to be right on the line. That's a good call.
Yeah, right on the line.
Dropped right there. Neese had begun. It seemed like he'd served to the right side. He's moved to the middle now. 4-3 Buckhorn trying to stay in this match, down 2 sets to love. It's going to cross, but there was Begley. Neese with a call. Bump set, nice set to Begley. He's got to come over that thing, got to turn that shoulder a little bit more
force. He's got the height.
You know, and he leads the team in kills, and that's going to be a point for Buckhorn. You know, I really think Begley's probably about an inch or two taller than Neese. That's going to go long, and that's service error point, Letcher Central. Five, 4. Blair with a short serve, but there was Begley was ready for it.
What was the issue?
I was looking down. I'm thinking that Begley hit it first.
He was across the net. Is that the?
It might have been. When I looked down, Begley had looked back. So Blair to serve once again. Goes to Begley. Begley over the top of the double block. Goes Lawson out to Crisp. He tries to hit it over top. It's going to go long. Point Buckhorn. Blair will go out, and Frazier comes in once again. Nice serve. Lawson was ready for it that time. Says, I'll go back to you, Fugit. And that's going to be 4, and Letcher Central will pick up, and it will tie the score at 6 apiece. Ambergy will come in. Crisp will go out.
Yeah, Kobe Amberg, did a great job serving tonight.
And then, you know, once he comes in, he has to go up to the front for setting purposes. Goes through the hands Nice once again. Nice. Up, and that's going to be
right
on the line. Nice gives him a chop or something there.
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, and that was a point by Fugit, and this hit right on the line.
Yeah.
Going back to serve now will be Turner. That puts Buckhorn up 7-6. Lawson with a call to Hamburgy. Back set to Fitzpatrick with a nice roll, and that will be a kill and ties it up at 7 apiece.
Yeah, when he's over there on that right corner with the left hand, he can really toe cross with it. It's wild looking, though. It's almost like he turns his shoulders to hit it right-handed.
He's got one day to get over this before he sees me in the hallway Wednesday and me talking about left-handers. Or any of these other guys and gals that talking about left-handers. Goes all the way across the Lawson,
wow.
And that was big time.
Yeah, Lawson brought the heater out there.
But it was made possible by the set of Ambergy. He put it up there, and there's that 1.5 foot or so that you don't have to worry about getting in the net, coming forward and hitting the volleyball. Fitzpatrick to serve over the top. There's that third set once again for Buckhorn. So getting a little bit of rhythm in system is Begley, and he has 44 kills.
Begley learns to actually bring the thump to it. I mean,
he's open instead of closed.
Yes,
when he hits it. Nice serve right down the middle. Hamburgy with a good hustle, and it's
not going to be enough.
So that's going to be a point for Buckhorn.
So back and forth affair here in the third match. Or third set.
Third set, yes. First match of the year for us. Once again, that floater served to Lawson. Ambergy short to Lawson. Over the top, there was Average. Cross Average once again steps up. Frazier gets it across with a left hand, and that's...
Yeah, knees hard to handle right there.
If you got a picture of that, he had the spread legs when he hit that thing. He jumped up and hit it. So point Buckhorn, 10-8. It's going to come short.
Boy, I didn't think it was going to clear the net. And Kobe Ambergy with a great save right there. But Buckhorn kind of hitting on all cylinders right now.
Yep, 11-8. And you saw where Ambergy did not want to hit that first hit and stepped in there, and then they were not able to get it where they needed to get the volleyball to him. As a result, Buckhorn with a point. 11-8. Begley to continue to serve, and he serves it wide, and it'll be point. Letcher Central. Lawson to serve. Blair in, and Frazier out for Coach Sheeler. And that's going to be getting across that time. Nice job by Begley. Ambergy short set.
Ooh, wow.
And that's a kill by
Blair very excited after that shot. And boy, it was a dandy right there.
And you got to work on that little short set. And Betty Vaughn calls it a 0 set. It is something that you have to work on in order to be able to do that. And evidently that's going to go long. And that's going to be point Buckhorn. Got under just a little bit. Going back to serve will be Average. And that's going to go long. Nice look and nice take by Potter.
He scoped that one out quickly. So Lawson here to serve.
Ambergy will go out. And Crisp, I think, came back in for on the front line.
Good serve.
Left hand by Blair, but there was Turner to get it with the left hand. Left hand, are we playing all left hand this time? Chris over top of Nice, who was Turner gets it up in the air, and that's going to be point Letcher Central.
I just really like the positivity both teams, though. You see, even on plays that come up short, they're very enthusiastic and complimentary of each other.
Which makes me enthusiastic.
Well, yes, but it doesn't take much to make you enthusiastic, Mr. Blair.
Lawson hits it into the net, servicer, and that point will go to Buckhorn, but I just love it because I love volleyball. I love volleyball. 13-12, and the freshman Roberts will serve. Bump set, roll over the top, and that's going to score.
Just dropped in the hole right there.
And that will tie it up at 13 apiece.
So Kendrick, Kendrick back to serve, and Kendrick's had a couple of good serves today, and that one's a nice one.
You didn't jinx him.
Nope, I didn't.
Lawson back set to Fitzpatrick, and he's going to hit it wide. I think in mid-flight he decided I'm going to hit it a little bit harder. And sometimes when you got someone like Begley staring across from you,
it changes where you want to hit it.
You change the trajectory of the volleyball sometimes. Needs to serve. Puts a little bit more nice up by Kendrick. Chris was blocked by Begley. Begley goes up, and there's Blair with the two hands. Blocked by Blair, but there comes Neese.
Yeah, really nice athletic play by Neese right there. There's the corner shot.
There's what I'm talking about. If you can't do it every time, as Betty Bunn always says, but you can do it when you see them draw up, and Lawson's smart in doing so.
Yeah, nice heads-up play by Lawson.
Blair going to go back to serve. We're 14 apiece here in set number 3. Letcher Central won the first 2. And miscommunication that time, and that's going to be a service ace, 15-14.
And that's that level that comes across the net where you're just not sure the guy in the front's going to.
And you got a little bit of pace on it as well.
Oh, yeah. So first lead here in this set for the Cougars.
Nice up by Neese. It's going to be close. Left hand and down.
And he kind of missed it, and I think it came to his advantage right there because it went straight down.
But he got it way above the net, and that will make it 16-14. Coach Williams with a timeout. We'll take a timeout with him. Stay with us on Hometown 24.
What keeps you going? Your love for the game? Your teammates? A victory? At ARH Orthopedics, our goal is to keep you pain-free so your body can keep going. There's no time for discomfort in your joints or ligaments caused by an injury. ARH Orthopedic providers specialize in treatment plans, from non-surgical and surgical options, so your care is entirely centered around you. Visit arh.org/ortho to find an orthopedic provider near you. ARH, more for Appalachia.
Welcome back. 16-14, Coach Williams, timeout. Set number 3 cannot allow this set to get away if they want to try to come out on top. Thank you for everybody for being able to join us.
Yeah, it's great. And I hope that we're being able to expose people to something they may have not seen before.
Yeah, and please come out, and in any sport that we do, please come out and watch them live. They like to see your live body in the stands and encourage them. And if you can't, tune us in. So here we go after the timeout. And a lot of times you make that timeout to try to interfere with a
just like
server.
A free throw shooter.
Exactly. And
it may have worked.
And you give kudos to Coach Williams for the strategy to try to break it up. And that will send Fugit back to serve after the point for Buckhorn. Lawson with a back set for that time. He said, I'm coming.
Yeah.
Nice job by Lawson to Lawson. Good law firm. Begley over the top of the double block. Goes back up.
Yeah, nice volley right here.
About caught Neese coming up too far, and that's going to be a
with
double
the carry
hit.
right here, or double hit.
Yep. Kind of went through, and you watch that volleyball to see how it spins, and that's going to be a point for Letcher Central, and Chris will go out. Ambergy will come in, and he will serve, trying to put away the Wildcats right here in the set number 3 that they must have to continue.
That's a great serve, but boy, what reaction time by Blair out there. Neese.
And that's going to be point, 18-15. And, back in the day, if it hit the net,
I know.
You had to play it again. So volleyball has changed a whole lot.
For the better.
Yes, it has. Ambergy, nice knuckleball serve. Neese not able to get to it, and it's going to be 19-15. Ambergy will move over just a little bit. He's using a little strategy here.
He's a thinking man.
Begley off the double block, but Fitzpatrick will – no, it was Frazier that hit it. Fitzpatrick with a double block with him.
And Frazier just a sophomore, so, Coach Shaler got to be happy with some of the way these young guys are playing.
Ambergy once again, and that's going to knuckle on that time on Noble and goes through his hands and makes it 21-15 in for the Wildcats for the first time. Freshman Jackson White, number 32. Ambergy.
Another good serve.
Ooh, I love that knuckle on there.
Oh, wow, what hustle by Ambergy. But,
and they're going to call a net violation on Begley. He's got to let that ball also get to the apex of the net, too.
I think that would be the hardest thing to judge as an official as well.
And you were looking kind of right down the
good serve again. Boy, Ambergy's really getting in the groove there.
Neese gets it across. Lawson to Ambergy. Back set to Fitzpatrick. There's Neese once again. Average. Begley, nice play.
Yeah, got caught looking back there in the back.
Well, you have a tendency to keep moving up, and then boom. And Begley did a nice job with a point for Buckhorn. Out will go Noble, and back in will come Roberts. Turner will serve. Comes up short with a short ball, and it's going to be a point for Buckhorn. Got to have 2 or 3 right here. Ambergy will go outside the Lawson.
Boy, that's a shot.
Goodness.
Man, Lawson really brought it right there. And a great set, like you said, from Ambergy. Gets the ball up high where he can do something with it. And, boy, he caught that one right at the top.
Good sportsmanship by Begley. Reaches across the net, gives him 5. You got to believe it now. 23-17, Letcher Central. Love to see that. And Fitzpatrick's going to come up with there, 23-18.
Potter checks back in. You see Jordan, he's always got a smile on his face everywhere he goes. He's just a positive young man.
Up on his toes, and Begley will go back to serves. Got to have a few right here for the Wildcats. And
that's a tough one right there, yeah.
And that's going to set up match point.
As the Letcher Central fan base get really excited. Great serve right there.
And that gets it across. Average with quick hands. Goes short set, but not.
Yeah, just didn't get it up high enough right there for Blair. And you see Sheeler. Yeah. Either one of those would be fine with me.
Nice serve. Oh, my.
Yeah, he dropped that one in, and that's going to
end the match at 25-19. Letcher Central wins in 3 sets to 0. Won the first set 25-22, second set 25-20, and the third set 25-19. And our player of the game will be, who you got?
Let's say Drew Blair?
Drew Blair, number 3. Drew Blair will be the Alice Lloyd College player of the game. So, looking at that as we were kind of making, but I hope everybody has enjoyed it. Jim?
Oh, yeah. It's been, for me, my first ever experience with this. And, just having a chance for a lot of these kids that, like we've kind of talked about before, not had a chance to play in a lot of organized sports, to be able to get out here and play in these wonderful facilities and compete in an organized setting like this for their high school. such an awesome thing. And, saw some really good players out there today. I mean, there's no doubt that Jacob Neese, not only at basketball, he can really play some volleyball. And,
it's still early in the year. You still got a little bit of time coming up. And, it just takes a while to get those fundamentals in any sport going. And, when you start looking at some of the things and you got to build upon things, and I'm really excited about what boys volleyball will do, I almost said Region 14, but there's 8 regions, and of course throughout we'll talk a little bit more as the season goes along about different things, but I'm really excited about boys volleyball. I hope you, the viewer, are excited about it. And when you can't come, tune in to Hometown 24, and we'll let you know as time goes along. And I forgot the game. What game have we got coming up, Jim? Did you pull it up?
I did not. I'm sorry. I should have been doing that instead of running my mouth.
So, once again, the next game for Letcher Central will be tomorrow. They go to Powell County. I'm going through all my Easter pictures here.
I know next week we've got Letcher Central and Perry, or is it this Friday? Oh, yeah, that looks like my planner, but it's yours. Look here on the
Bryson, right on it.
Softball.
I won't talk. I got it.
Jenkins and PCC on the 10th.
Jenkins and PCC. So,
thank you.
That's going to be that's volleyball.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it was softball, didn't I? Earlier in
now there might have been a softball game. No, I don't think we have. No. I think that's it for this week.
Okay, so I am wrong. Well, I'm typically wrong a lot of times.
No,
we'll see 2 more teams, and it'll be Betty Von Cottle, the boys of girls volleyball on our telecast. Will be at. Of course, if you don't know it already, she coaches the boys team at Jenkins.
But she won't be very competitive. I know Betty Von. It's probably pretty laid back.
She won't yell or laugh, and then we'll be at Perry County Central for that game. So I'm even more excited now. Not that I'm not excited. Can we do a softball game and a volleyball game? We might be able to. So check with us on our Facebook page, and we'll let you know exactly the time and everything on the 10th. And I don't know. Will you be doing that game with me?
No Fridays for me in the spring.
No Fridays. So that will be Brian Johnson will be helping me on Friday night. So with that being said and everything, thank you to Letcher County Central for allowing us to do the basketball game. Thank you to our sponsor, Bank of Hyman, and all of our sponsors that help us here at Hometown 24. Thank you for the Hometown 24 crew. And I've got to go work on a washer and dryer. So with that being said, good night. God bless. See you.